let's hear about your story, Lillian, who you are, where you're from, and how you got started in business.
I started business, well, firstly, I live in Waihetu, which is where my mother, Erenora, her people are, Te Atiawa, in Wellington. And on my dad's side, the Hetets are from Ngāti Maniapoto, Te Koiti, and Oparere, where our family's from. And my dad's mum is Tuwharetoa from Turangi. So I live in Waihetu and surrounded by many of my close family, my sister and my brother Len, and our family are artists. So the thing about it is I'm not a weaver, but many of the women, the Hetet women, as people know, are weavers. And my role in the whānau has always been as a supporter. So I have for many years been involved in the business of teaching the arts as a supporter with our family. From a business point of view, I've been involved in business since I was 19, and my first little business was selling pois at Tukanu hot pools.
Oh, wow.
But my first real business was when I was 26. I opened a gift basket shop in Leigh-on-Sea, Essex in England.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when I came back to New Zealand, I mean, I've always been interested in business, and it's an entrepreneurial streak in our family. I think it's actually an entrepreneurial streak in many Māori families. Yeah. I think we're just by nature entrepreneurial. And so in 2000, I opened a gallery near where we live and started selling our work, and then developed a tourism business around that, and then went on to open mall-based shops called Koha Gifts. I have a shop in Queensgate and one in North City Shopping Centre in Kurira. So, yeah, and now I've ended up working online, awesome, which I absolutely love.
So how old were you when you started out in business? And we'll start with that first.
Pardon me?
How old were you when you started out in business?
So I was 19 when I started out. I'm 55 now.
Wow.
And it's taken me all those years to learn everything I needed to learn to create a successful business. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, misspent them because I didn't know what I was doing, you know. And the awesome thing about going online with a business, so essentially what we've done is we've taken the Hetet School of Māori Art, what we've done for many years, our whānau, teaching people, you know, the traditional art forms. We've taken it online and created an online course essentially, and a community of people interested in learning. And what I love about working online is that you can do it for very little money. You know, you can start up a business and what they call bootstrap it. You know, most people have very little time, energy is stretched, and very little money to start a business. And in the past, in the traditional way of building businesses, you know, like when I built my gift stores, for instance, it costs $100,000 to build a store in Queensgate. Wow. Just to build the store. That's without the stock, right? You've got to stock it, and then you've got to staff it. And in a mall is open 7 days a week, you know, long hours. It's a really tough business, retail. And I learned a lot of hard lessons through that experience. It was a successful business in that it was a great idea and people loved our shop. But, you know, at that stage in my business journey, I didn't have the skills that I needed. I didn't know about marketing and sales. I knew how to sell, but I didn't know about how to market my business. When I had my gift store, my first shop, which was in England, you know, I remember spending thousands of pounds getting a leaflet designed and then trudging the streets at night after work, putting leaflets in people's boxes, because that's how you did it back then. There was no internet. You know, everything was printing and all that sort of thing cost a lot of money. What I love about online business is that it's quick, it's cheap, and you can learn to do it yourself. You don't have to wait around for people. I mean, yes, you can, there are awesome services online that you can purchase, but if you are strapped for cash, strapped for time, and you want to get online, you can do it by bootstrapping.
So how long ago was it that you had the shop in Queensgate, and how did you move from that into online business? How did that happen?
Yeah. We moved into Queensgate in 2002, and it was a really great time to start a retail business because retail was on the up, and our business boomed right on the off because it was a great idea. People wanted to buy New Zealand made. We only stocked New Zealand made stuff, and of course we had Māori stuff in there, so it was a really cool concept. But very quickly that market, the retail market, within 2 years started a very sharp downturn. And so our business started turning down, and I didn't have the systems in place or the nous to adapt quickly. So we were in business and retail for about 8 years.
Oh, wow.
And I came out of that business really having lost a lot of money, but learned heaps, as I said. Yeah.
Okay, so from when you stopped doing that, did you go directly into online, or what happened?
No, sorry, yes, to answer your question. At the same time that we were doing our retail business, my husband, Graham, he loved competitions, and so he used to go to the supermarket, you know, how you can fill out a form and put it in a box.
Yeah.
And you might win something, or you could fill out a competition in a women's magazine or whatever. And of course, online at that time, people were starting to put competitions online. So on the back of his hobby, we decided to build an online site called Competition World. And Competition World listed all the offline and online competitions.
Oh, wow.
And within 6 months, we grew our community to 20,000 people used to visit our site every week.
Wow.
To check out the competitions. It was really awesome. He loved doing it, and I loved it too. And we built that site with Front Page, which was an online web editor at the time. It was really difficult for us to learn because we're not technical kind of people. And I always marvel at the irony of it. I'm a real technophobe. You know, even now I have to ask my kids to operate the TV hoodoo because I don't know how to get to the channel or whatever. And yet, ironically, I'm online. I absolutely love technology online and have learned how to do it, you know.
Sure.
But that's where we started. We started with Competition World, and it introduced me to the power of the reach of the net. We had people from all over the world coming to our website.
Yeah.
The only thing is we didn't know how to monetize it because at that time, banner advertising and that was just only starting, and we didn't have the apps available. You know, I say to people now, in terms of online business, or any business actually, now is the best time in history because you have all these people in America mostly who have developed software and applications that you can purchase quite cheaply online and put a business together. You couldn't do that when we started Competition World. Yeah.
I agree with you around that, and you don't necessarily have to have an online business. Even if you have a traditional bricks and mortar business, you still need an online presence. Because remember in the old days, you used to have the Yellow Pages book where everybody would, you know, if they needed service or something, they would look up the Yellow Pages book. Nowadays, everyone Googles. They Google. If they want to know about someone, they use Google. So this is what I say to people. It's really important to, you know, if you just do traditional stuff out there, whether you've got a retail shop or a photography business or a florist, you still need an online presence.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that is the power of the internet nowadays. If you have an offline business, you can create huge sales and marketing reach through the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of replaces what you were saying about going, delivering pamphlets by
Yeah,
by hand or by foot
yeah,
to boxes. So it kind of replaces that, and also the reach beyond. You can go beyond your geographical space, beyond your country borders, actually, as well. So tell us a little bit about the Hetet school, and what. How far is your reach? Is it just to Australia, or is it beyond that? Do you have an idea?
well, yeah. Um, this is a wonderful thing about the internet. You know, we have students in Australia because a lot of Māori people live in Australia and they can't get to Waianaga. And so it's an awesome thing that we can teach people remotely like that, and they can come and join a class of Whirinoi and learn and access your expertise. I mean, even in the offline world, Whirinoi could only teach about 6 or 8 people at a time, whereas now online she can teach a gazillion people while she sleeps. And in fact, she does, you know.
The
So,
ability to leverage, isn't it? That's what's so good about.
yeah, that's right. And so we have students, we've got a student in London, Rebecca Small, she's a Kiwi living over there, and she's learned how to weave with Whirinoi. You know, she found her flax, and in London they have these little fenced off gardens, and her little flax supply was in one of those little fenced off gardens. We've got Chris Walsh in Hawaii. We've got Bobby Rankin, who's not Māori, she's an American woman who loves crafting, loves basketry and that kind of thing, and Bobby lives in New York. We've got a lady in the Netherlands, Stacey Ratapu, who lives in France. You know, she's moved over there with her whānau and her French husband, and she's weaving and learning with Whirinoi in France. And that's what I love about it, that all these people who could not normally access our skills and expertise can do that anywhere they want, as long as they've got a mobile or a desktop or a laptop and internet connection. You can get online and you can learn.
That's really cool. I don't know if you're aware, Lillian, but while you're talking, I'm actually sharing your page with people.
I can see that, and that's a great idea, actually, in absence of my face.
So that they can see, I mean, I don't want them looking at me all the time. I'm not that interesting. So, yeah, I just wanted to show people, what you've done. And this is the work that you've done, the putting together of the website and all these wonderful pages, so that you and your sister working together, she's playing to her strengths and you're playing to your strengths. That's kind of quite good, the way that you can work together and collaborate.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Every business needs different skill sets, and we've combined our skill sets quite well. If you just go back up above that, you scroll back up that page, you see, so there's Penny Cameron. Penny lives in Hamilton, and Doris Culwer, Doris, she lives in Wellington, and Heather lives in Dargaville. And Heather, she was a little bit disabled at the time that she joined us, around, and so she could get online and do her class, and Carlene lives in Auckland, and so it's an awesome community. So yes, the thing about an online business, actually any business, it's not just about you, it's about your customer as well.
Yeah.
And what is possible online is that you can create a global community of people and have that reach, people gathering around the things that they're interested in. So for me, we've been able to bring people into our weaving whānau who are interested in weaving, and that's our focus. And the thing about the internet is you can be really niche about what you offer. There's a guy in America who makes millions of dollars teaching people how to jump, of all things.
And I think you're right. You do need to, you can carve out a segment of the market for yourself. And you don't necessarily have to have a lot of people. You just need a great fan club that really, really love what you do. And the word will come from there, won't it?
That's it. For me, you can create, in fact, I really believe that what the first most important thing to do when you're thinking about setting up a business online is to align yourself, be very clear about your values and your purpose and the skills and talents, the gifts that you have to bring to the world. I mean, for our whānau, you know, the weaving tradition, and our dad is a carver, he learnt carving at 17, he's been carving all his life. Our mum and dad together have taught hundreds of people how to carve and weave throughout the country. This has been that was their purpose, right? And so we're very clear about our kaupapa. And our kuia rangi Māori, you know, that was her kaupapa. So this is a very strong focus for us. We're very clear about that. We're clear about what we value and the skills and the knowledge that we have to share with people. And then what happens is you attract people who are interested in that same thing.
So what do you say to some people who might be quite critical about what you're doing? Because, you know, as Māori, we like the face-to-face and we want to keep our traditions and ways just amongst ourselves. Do you get many critics that criticise what you're doing and, you know, sharing it with the world?
That's a really good question, iWahine. We have had some people quite upset that we are charging for these lessons. So let me address that first issue. Any university course or wānanga course, most wānanga courses you have to pay for knowledge, right? And I think it's really important that we value our traditional knowledge, that we put a price on the value of that knowledge. We did, when we first started, we had our first lesson was like $49 and we sold that lesson, and then we thought to ourselves, we stopped and thought, oh, wait a minute, maybe we should do it, you know, more koha, right?
Yeah.
And so we then reverted to koha. Let's charge koha for our lessons. Well, we had someone who paid us $0. I had to email them back and say, well, we don't teach for nothing, we teach for koha. And then, then we had a whole array between $5 and $100. And people really weren't sure because they didn't know what they were purchasing. You know, they didn't know the value of what they were purchasing until they actually did it. And so we then made a stand and we said, if we want people to value what we do, we have to value it. And so we have to put the price on that we think it's worth.
Yes.
And the minute we did that, people were able to relax and say, yes, I'm prepared to pay whatever it was for that course or that lesson. Yeah. And then our business started growing. Yeah.
I guess they didn't have an idea, like you were saying, they don't have anything to gauge it, to measure it against. So you have to put something on it and then they can test that value. And that's actually another interesting question to look at is around this idea of free versus paying. Because I know that in the past when I've run wānanga hui for people and it's been free, people register quite willy-nilly, but on the day, and then you prepare the kai, the resources, get everyone to come, then on the day, not many people turn up. So yeah. I'm of the view that people do need to have some skin in the game. Because then when they've got skin in the game, they turn up and they actually value what you have to offer. So I agree.
That's exactly it, iWahine. That is exactly it. You've hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
So how have you, how long has this been online, Lillian? That's quite interesting. Yeah.
Well, my online journey, in earnest, started about 4 years ago, and I started learning about how to build businesses online, and the technical side of it then. And our first site. Well, I actually built another business online, which was kind of like my test site, you know.
Yeah.
I was working out my muscles and working out how to do things and stuff like that, and realised about after 3 months that wasn't really what I wanted to do. And then, of course, we launched the Hetet School. I built our first site with WordPress. So when you're bootstrapping, you know, WordPress costs very little. It was a good place to start and test. We're now I'm currently rebuilding our site on another platform, and we are now on our third iteration of the site. So what happens is, as you grow your business online, you adapt and you use different applications and that kind of thing, and you learn as you grow. So in answer to your question, sorry I'm gabbling on, we launched hetetschoolofmaoriart.co.nz in February 2015.
Oh, wow. So it's over 2 years
Yeah.
that you've been online. Wow.
Yeah.
So are you able to share with us just how many students have participated in your courses?
Yeah, we've had over 1,000 students sign up for our courses. We've got almost 400 students who are currently enrolled and learning in various courses. So we offer raranga courses from beginners through to, you know, weaving kite whakairo, and we offer tānipo, and we offer kākahu and vernal teachers, you know, from here, kia piu all the way through to korowai.
So I know that there's a number of courses being offered probably for free at places like Te Wānanga, Aotearoa and other wānanga. How have you found that in terms of competition? People say, well, I can do it for free at the wā. How have you found that in terms of your own business?
You know, I learned this principle of the blue ocean. Okay, so the red ocean is where most businesses are sitting, and they're in a competitive mode. You know, there's lots of sharks and they're all eating one another, and there's lots of blood and guts. Basically, that's the red ocean.
Sounds gory.
The blue ocean, and a good example of this is Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, yes.
Now, before Cirque du Soleil came along, there were lots of little circuses that went to towns. I mean, you probably went to one when you were a kid. I did. Our parents took us to the circus, came to town. And they were all the same. They had the same kind of acts. You knew exactly what you were going to get at the circus, right? And the circus market became like the red ocean. It was very tough business. Cirque du Soleil came along and they went into the blue ocean. They said, well, instead of charging cheap prices for seats and giving the same old show, we're going to make this spectacle, this fabulous, with music and the most amazing acts told to a story and a theme, and we're going to charge premium prices. And now Cirque du Soleil, well, you'll know, it has a franchise throughout the world. It's a multi-million-dollar business. Who would have thought? But so the blue ocean is really about getting yourself into a place where you are doing your thing in your way that no one else is doing, and you're marketing to the audience who wants what you have.
That's awesome. I've been to like 3 or 4 Cirque du Soleil shows, so I totally get what you're saying. But what I'm hearing from you is that no use going into a market and trying to compete on price. Someone's already got the lowest price covered.
Yeah, well, free is the lowest price, right? The wānanga offer free courses. But what we say is, well, the wānanga meets a particular need in the market out there for particular people, right? But our market are coming to our ocean because they want to swim with us for different reasons.
Yes.
They're aligned to what we value. They want our expertise. They want the kaupapa that we hold, which is is built on our experience of teaching for many generations, you know. So there's that kind of thing which is different.
Well, it's about reputation. To me, that's what I'm hearing. It's about reputation. It's about mana. It's about being renowned as an expert in your particular area. Isn't that what it's about?
Oh yeah, I think it's also about experience and passion. I mean, our family have been committed to this kaupapa all of my life.
Yeah.
You know, this is what my parents did, and we've grown up with it. It's not something that we just decided to do one day. It's kind of like, well, it's a duty, actually. You know, I see it as a duty.
It's in the whakapapa by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's a whakapapa, that's right. And so when you do things from that place, getting up in the morning to go to work is not work. You're getting up in the morning to do what you love.
Yeah.
And so, this is what I think, of all the businesses I've ever been involved with, the Hetet School of Māori Art is totally aligned with our values and everything that, you know, we want to be doing.
So where next for the Hetet School of Māori Art? Got any ideas?
So, yeah. In the business trajectory, as you grow, you know, you have different things that you have to reach for next. And as a business grows, you have to grow with it. And so for the last couple of years, I've built all the tech stuff. I've been managing various parts of the business that have been okay, you know, as you bootstrap and you're doing it just you or you and your family, that's fine. But when your business grows and you get a lot more customers,
yeah,
you have to bring some more help on board.
Yes.
And so the challenge then becomes, how do we grow our team so that we can support our students?
Yeah, cool, awesome. So, and yourself, Lillian, what have you got ahead for you? So is it just, have you got any other ideas? It sounds like you're very entrepreneurial, you've tried lots of different things. Anything else in the online space that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, the trouble with being a creative kind of mind is that I could come up with a gazillion different ideas all in one day and want to do them all.
I hear you.
So, you know, you and I have talked about how, and we're very aligned in this way, I am excited for wahine Māori in particular, because I think that our women especially entrepreneurial. They have, our women have the what it takes to make it online, because you need to be resourceful, you need to be gutsy, and you need to have grit and resilience. So I think that our women have those attributes that you need to get online, and I'm so excited for the online opportunity to share that and help other women to be able to create businesses online, because I know how to do it. Yeah. And it's doable.
Yeah.
If I can do it, a technophobe, anybody can do it, and I can show you how, you know. So
how did you get the name Techie Gal then?
Well, I kind of gave it to myself. It was actually in the beginning Techie Admin Gal, but then I brought my husband in, and he's very good at admin stuff, so he became Admin Guy. And Techie Gal really is because I do all the technical stuff, you know, and building the sites and the backend.
What that shows to me is that, you know, you started off not really knowing anything about, I mean, you said you weren't very technical, but it just shows that if you have a desire to learn, anyone can learn anything, right? If you really want to.
Yeah, everything is doable. You can learn it. You can learn it. There's so many, like if I wanted to learn, sometimes I look at what I'm doing. Sometimes if I stop and I look what I'm doing and I think, what the hell am I doing? I can't believe that I can do what I do to put a website together or whatever. But then I think back at how I learned it. So you can YouTube things, you know, if you want to know how to get a URL, You can Google YouTube, and then someone's put a video up and shows you how to do it, and you just follow the video. So it took me years to do it, you know, that way, piecemeal. And what I'd like to do is take people from A to B in really one quick shot, and share my experience of building a business online and what all the different pieces of the puzzle and how they go together.
Yeah, I wanted to reconnect, and I did fill in time and tell people that you and I were working on a project together to help other wahine Māori start a business online. And also, awesome. I'm looking out at the what's happening out there in the job landscape, and what we're noticing, we just heard recently IRDs dropping off a third of their staff, but it's not just IRD. I'm just noticing quite a few women in their 40s and 50s are suddenly finding themselves out of work and being replaced, and you know, they're a little bit lost. So I think that this is a great opportunity for women to get them to start something with a relatively low cost of, you know, cost to get started. The barriers to get started are low. So yeah, anything else you want to, well, I mean, just quickly, we've been going for 40 minutes. So just quickly, Lillian, is there, you know, based on what you've learned, what would you do different, if anything?
In the online space or in business in general?
In the online space.
I'm just, you know, like I think what you've done, iWahine, by creating this community of women who are interested in business is an awesome thing. And I just did want to talk briefly, going back to the competition in the red ocean. What I love about the opportunity through iWahine is that we can work collaboratively. And this is the power of the internet as well today. Rather than working in silos, we're doing our business on that by ourselves. Yeah. And I am going to answer your question. This is really an answer to your question. The thing that I would do differently is, instead of trying to, you know, I've built the Head at School with my whānau, we've done it on our own. And that's been fine. But to grow, we need to reach out and come alongside other people. And really, if there's anything that any advice I would give to other people is, don't work on your own. Yeah. See who you can connect up with to bring your skills together, because there is only a limited skill set within a small group, or if you're working on your own, you've only got a certain set of skills. But when you team up with other people, you can be more well-rounded and help one another to leverage one another up, leverage your business up. And that's why one of the reasons I'm really excited about the iWahine community, because within this group of women, there are a huge abundance of skills and knowledge. And if we can collaborate together and help one another up into the spaces that we can, into the internet space, it's powerful. The future is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited too, and lovely to have you on board. I agree. That's the whole reason why I started iWahine. It was pretty lonely on my own, and you start to, when you're on your own, you start to doubt yourself and question yourself. For example, like I started the iWahine Facebook page a couple of years ago, really just stayed quietly behind the scenes. I actually didn't want to be seen, but then I knew that I had to, but I thought, oh, I put it off as long as I could. But now I've just decided that I have to, because how can I show other women the way if I'm not leading the way, if I'm not doing it myself? And so everything that, it sounds like you're the same as me, we're the same, everything that we do, everything that we share, everything that we teach with other women, it's stuff we've been through and we've learnt from. So we're hoping to make the journey for other women a lot easier, aren't we, Lillian?
Yeah, that's right, we are. And I think also to help people come into their own, you know, that competitive spirit where you're trying to compete with other people and be like other people, it doesn't work. What I feel is the most powerful thing is each and every one of us, the uniqueness that we have to bring, our special, basket of gifts. Our mum used to say every child comes with their own little basket of gifts that's unique to them. And rather than us trying to be someone else, the power of it is in us being our unique and most authentic selves. And our experiences and talents and skills that we have to bring to the world, only we can bring them. No one else has them. Yeah. And we have a duty to bring those and share that value with other people.
I hear that. We have a duty
yeah.
to share our talents with the world.
Yeah.
Cool. So are there any final words you want to say, Lillian? Anything? You've got any?
Well, at the moment, as you know, I'm working on putting the final touches to our eBiz Basics course together, and I'm so excited for that. It's going to give people an overview of the different puzzles of the eBiz picture that you need to put together, and it'll help you to understand if you're new to online business. It'll give you some good foundational understanding and skills. And if you have already started on your online journey, or if you are already in business offline, it will start opening your mind to the possibilities and what you need to do next, the next steps. So I'm really excited for that, yeah. And of course, working with iWahine to bring this knowledge to the iWahine whānau is really, really exciting. So thank you for having me here and being part of it.
Thank you for collaborating. Thank you for being open and wanting to get together and work together on this kaupapa. So just to recap what Lillian said, wahine mā, is that we are creating a course, and the first step is free, just to give you a taste of what it's like, and to help your journey be easier. We're going to be there to support you. So I'm quite excited. I wish I had something like this when I started out, because I was all over the place and I spent lots of money and time and all sorts of stuff doing this. So I'm quite excited to team up with you, Lillian, because our combined skill sets and experience, I think it's just going to be a real help to other women. And just by the way, I've always been keen on business, and to tell you the truth, you learn more about business by doing it, getting in and doing it. I have a MBA, a Master of Business Administration, and I'm going to tell you all, it cost me $50,000. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I just had got started online and didn't doubt myself, and did this course that Lillian and I are doing, because it's far more valuable than what I got out of that MBA course, I have to say.
Yeah.
Any final words? That's us.
No, that's us. I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon, obviously, and meeting as we go along in this journey with everyone, the rest of the women here.
Cool.
Kia ora, Awhimai. Thank you for all your mahi.
Thank you, everyone. That's it for us. Ka kite.
Right.